This is the Razer Phone, and it's Razer's first real entrance into the mobile market. They're famous for their high-quality PC accessories and lately also their gaming laptops, which are considered the Macbooks of Windows, in terms of build quality that is. They have been offering headsets and other mobile accessories before, but it's about time that they made a full-on phone, so here we are with the Razer Phone. Now I'm gonna go straight into the meat and potatoes of the phone, its beastly specifications. It's got a Snapdragon 835 SoC, giving you the best performance an Android phone can have at the moment. It's paired to a whopping 8 gigs of RAM, which makes multitasking extremely fast, especially also because it's rocking near stock Android. The battery is of a humongous size, 4000 mAh, which, while it gives a phenomenal battery life of around 4 to 6 hours of screen on time, also gives the Razer Phone its chunky and thick design, which some people might not be too happy about. The display is a 5.7-incher with the usual Quad HD resolution. It's not OLED, and that's actually fine this time around because the display has actually got a very nice trick up its sleeve to make up for it. A refresh rate of 120Hz. Now you gamers out there know exactly what this means, but for you guys who don't, well, a refresh rate is basically how many times per second the display updates with new information from the graphics processor. Now practically every phone's display nowadays are just 60Hz, so the Razer phone's got double the refresh rate and it's awesome. I mean, everything from your usual scrolling and browsing to playing games looks incredibly smooth on this display. And going back to a normal 60Hz display is quite hard and might take some time. I gotta say, the panel also looks very good in terms of colors and sharpness, so the IPS display on the Razer Phone is definitely a big pro. Now, as I said, the Razer Phone is quite chunky. It's got a very boxy and industrial aluminum design, so it weighs quite a lot, and because the screen is a 5.7-incher, it's quite large too. But after a couple of days of use, that weight and boxy design will probably not bother you, but for you out there with small hands, the size might, so keep that in mind. What might bother you more though is the rather thick chin and forehead on the front of the phone. And I agree to some extent, as it doesn't look very modern at all, but it's not wasted space. Razer has implemented what might very well be the best speaker system in any phone right now, period. It gets very loud, has substantial bass, and compared to the iPhone 8 and X, which are number 2 on that list in my personal opinion, it sounds a lot better. But don't get me wrong, it's by no means going to replace your stereo or even your portable speaker, but it's the best in the business. If you're wondering where the fingerprint sensor is, it's not on the back. Instead, it's been put into the left side power button. It's fast and I've never had any problems with it. On the right side, you'll find the volume buttons. Now, I watched MKBHD's review of this phone the other day and I reacted to this statement that he thought the buttons were mushy and just not tactile, and I couldn't disagree more. The buttons are, in fact, in my opinion, very tactile and feel great. So I'm thinking he might have had a bad unit. Now on the bottom you'll find a typical USB Type-C port with fast charging. What you won't find though is a headphone jack. And that feels quite weird because this phone is indeed an entertainment and gaming phone at heart. So in my opinion it should have had it. It's definitely not that big a deal, but it just gets a bit annoying sometimes, especially if you lose track of where you put the adapter. Now, software-wise, there's not a whole lot to talk about, which is good. The phone's featuring stock Android with Nova Launcher Prime installed out of the factory. It's simple, it's Android, it's got none of those cheeky and weird features, it's just clean. I like that. But that's not to say the software is issue-free, because it isn't. For example, when watching Netflix, which the phone's display has HDR support for by the way, it sometimes crashes. And I don't mean the app, the entire phone crashes and has to restart. This practically happens 50% of the time and it's super annoying. So they gotta fix that. Now, another thing I don't like about this phone is sadly the camera. It, and I'm dropping the bomb here, sucks. It literally looks as bad as an old iPhone 6, And I'm not kidding. And actually the experience of taking pictures and video with it is even worse. It doesn't focus properly, and when it does, it takes like 5 seconds, the app is slow, and sometimes it just outright crashes. So Razer's definitely got a lot of work to do in the camera department, because this just doesn't cut it in 2018. I also have to mention the really bad vibration motor. It sounds like it's loose or kind of like broken, and I was hoping that this was just my phone affected, but it seems as though every phone's motor is this weird. So as a conclusion, the Razer phone is fast, has a great battery life, an awesome smooth display, great build quality, and software near stock Android. But there are quite a lot of software fixes to be done, both in terms of just the Netflix things and those kinds of bugs, and also the camera department. The phone also might be too big for some people, and as I said, the camera is not cutting it in 2018. So with that said, let me know what you guys think of the Razer phone in the comment section down below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you loved it, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. Peace.